fast we can go. All right. I think we are being recorded now. So, good evening, everyone, again.
Good evening, sir.
Yeah, I believe we all have the data set, right? If you don't have it, please try to get it and see how you can follow up from here. All right. So, we started with data modeling, which is very, and I took time to explain it. Because as you progress, you will have need to keep on modeling your data as your data keeps growing. All right. So yesterday we stopped at creating these visuals. So if I go through so this is the Power BI question for those of us that were not part of us yesterday. You could come up and catch it. So these are the questions we've been trying to answer, and we're going to answer some of them. Then I'll just guide us on how to go about it. And so this is a breakdown. We're trying to create an interactive dashboard where the overview page contains all of this. All right. And then we would also have need to create a drill through page. All right. And some of the deliverables include creating interactive dashboard, adding a drill through page, writing some DAX expressions, clear labeling, and the rest. All right. So let's dive in. So this is a replica of what we will be doing. All right. Can we see my screen? Hello?
Yes, sir.
All right. What is currently displayed?
The dashboard we were building yesterday.
The dashboard that we are trying to build, that is what it's displaying.
Okay, okay. All right. Let me. All right, all right. So, okay, I think we're good to go. So, I said this is we're going to replicate this. All right, we're going to replicate this visual here. So, this is Adidas sale. And yesterday we were able to bring out some of the key metrics, the KPIs that are necessary to aid our analysis. So, today we'll continue by creating the visuals before we put them in, before we create our dashboard. All right, so if I go over to the question, okay, so I think we stopped at, we created the total cost and profit by product bar chart, and I explained what that visual represents, revenue by sales channel using a donut chart, right? And I think we have revenue by retailer. All right, so now remember our data set, remember the problem. Our data set contains different retailers. I gave an analogy using different e-commerce businesses, Jumia, Amazon, and the likes. Same thing here that applies to this data set. So this question, it talks about we want to know how the retailers are driving our revenues. Okay, this can aid this can aid further insights into our analysis. So I'll be using the tree map. All right. So the tree map is similar to is similar to is similar to the donut chart or the pie chart. All right. It shows us how different categories contribute to a sum of everything. That's what the tree map does. So if you look at the sales by revenue using the donut chart, we can see how each channel of distribution contributed to the overall sales here. All right, so that's the same thing we'll do using the tree map. Okay, so we'll come over to now the question says how the retailers contribute to our revenue. All right, individual retailers. So I'm going to go to my retailer table. So you see you see the importance of creating this retailer table when we broke our fact table into other tables, dimension tables. So now we want to know the retailer, how they are contributing to our revenue. If we didn't have this table now, we wouldn't have done that. We wouldn't have been able to do it. So remember, I said the dimension table, it describes your data. All right. So we have a total revenue. We have a total revenue in this value, and now we are trying to describe this value by the retailers. All right. So I'm going to drag. Okay. Let me click on it again. So I'm going to take my retailer to this category here and my total revenue, all right, to the value field. So you can see it has created a tree map for me. All right. Any question here? All right, Mary Jane, go ahead, please.
Okay, so my question is, I know that it's showing different shape sizes. Is it going to show like percent? Okay, 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 okay. That's what I wanted to know. Thank you.
All right, all right. So this is you can use your, that's why it's interactive. Okay. So you just hover around and you can check out your values here. So this just gives you an overview. Okay. All right. Any other question? Okay. So Inspire, go ahead.
Okay, so I want to ask that when exactly will you know when to use this training?
Okay. I think you would have to, your audio from my end is very distorted, very, very distorted. So I think you should log out and log in. It's very distorted.
Can you hear me now?
No, it's still distorted. I'm just hearing mumbling. So try and refresh your network. I'm just hearing mumbling sound. All right. So
Can you hear me now, sir?
I can barely hear you. It's having like it's more like a robotic voice. I don't know why. I don't know why. So you should check.
Rather, please check your settings.
All right. So all right. So I'll be going. I'll be going a bit fast, so that we can have time to evaluate our visuals. All right. So the next thing I want to do is to create, profit by revenue and using the quarter trend line, using a trend line chart. I remember one of the last class we had was, and we can leave this here. Let's create a new. So the last class we had, we talked about trend lines, and I think that was the class we had before this visualization, before this project. Okay, so remember I said, where is the chart again? Mhm. So the trend line is used to it's for time series analysis. It's checking for trends per time. All right. And now we are looking at the revenue by, what's the question again? Revenue by the quarter. All right, profit and revenue. All right, so this is what we're going to do next. Our measures are already in our fact table, so we'll drag and drop. We'll go to our date table where we have our quarter. Okay, you take it to the x-axis, and then you go to the fact table where you have the revenue. And then we can see total profit into our secondary axis. All right. So later we'll format these visuals. I'm just trying to create the visuals, and so that we can have a good view for analysis. Okay, so next on this chart, we have our matrix, and let's see what the question says. Also, we're still looking at units sold by retailer and then the region. Okay, let's create that. We'll come over to our matrix. So the matrix visual, it helps us view data, our data, based on different columns, right, with just one value. So if you look at the question, it's saying the unit sold. We want to compare the unit sold. We want to see how well we've sold our products by the retailer. That means how much products, or how many products that were delivered or were sold by them, and we want to compare it to our region. All right. So this is what this is how we're going to do it. So the numeric value will be in the value field, which is our total sum of product units sold. Okay, it will be in the value field, and then by retailer will come to our retail table and take these two. You can decide to leave it in your row, or you could decide to leave it in your column, depending on how you want to view it. So I'll leave this one in the row, and I'll go to our location. by region. So I take this to colon. Okay. So this is what we have. Okay, so is Inspire back?
Yes, sir. Back. Can
Please, I
you
want to
hear
be sure.
me?
Am I the only one? The voice is, I don't know. I can't pick what you're saying.
You're not the only one, so
Sorry?
you're
You're
not the
not
only
the
one.
only one, sir. I think it's that's the sound.
Is that the robot?
Yes, sir. That's it.
Oh, I can't hear her. So the matrix visual, okay, maybe let us try and sort it out. So the matrix visual is used to display data, in like a grid format. So this is similar to the pivot table in Excel. All right, when you're trying to aggregate your data. All right, so you have your row, you have your row, and you have your columns too. So it allows us to summarize and visualize data across multiple should I use the word dimensions or attributes. So what we are visualizing is this unit sold, which is the value field. All right, we are trying to visualize it across several dimensions or attributes. One of the attributes or dimension here is a retailer. So we're looking at how many products did Amazon retail to Adidas, and and that's by retailer and then by the region. So this is a very key visual that can help you, see more details into your data, into your analysis. Okay, so
Excuse me, sir. Am I better now? Is the voice better than before?
yes.
Okay, okay.
Okay, so all right, so this is the total sales made. All right, so we can come and count distincts. All right, so this is what we're interested in. So the distinct product sold. Not that's we're not counting reoccurring. We just want to know the distinct count of all the products sold per retailer by region. Right, so this is what this visual does. Okay, this is what the visual does. So the next visual we'll be creating, all right, before we begin to format them, and I think, okay, all right, so the scatter plot, all right, the scatter plot helps us to it helps us to see the correlation between two numeric data. All right, that's what the scatter plot does, and you can use it in predictive analysis. All right, so there are different types of analysis, predictive analysis, diagnostic analysis, prescriptive analysis. So the scatter plot comes in handy. All right, so prescriptive in the sense that you are or predictive, you are using the past to see what will happen in the future. All right, and then prescriptive, you are using what have so the predictive is using historical data, all right, to see what you can make use of in the future or what can happen. So prescriptive now is just like when you're prescribing, like a doctor prescribes, we've found the problem, all right, we've seen the problem, or we've seen the problem, so we're trying to bring solutions to it. So we're prescribing solutions. All right, so Those are so the scatter plot comes in handy when we're trying to prescribe, sorry, when we're trying to predict or see the trend. Remember, I said, does correlation imply causation? All right. So what it means that if I say students who read more at night are likely to have high grades. So I can come and propose a question. Does students who read more, are they likely to have more grades or better grades? So there's a correlation there, cause and effect. So that means if you read, if we come, if our analysis is using the scatter plot, when we get our trend line and see uh, how likely they are going to occur, reading more and having more grades, then we can now say that there is a correlation. All right. So reading more is a numeric value. All right. That's in if you take it in hours, in time, that's numeric integer. And then grades has to do with numbers too. So that's correlation, cause and effect. All right. So if you do this for this amount of time, how this is the result. So now the question that this visual answers. Remember, I said every visuals must be unique. They must point to something. So the question that this answer is how units sold, okay, how it affects our profit or our cost or revenue. So does it mean that if we sell more products, will our profit increase? If we sell more product, will our profit increase? Or if we sell less product, is there a correlation? Is there a cause and effect? Right? Sometimes correlation does not always imply, causation. So does it affect? So all of these visuals will tell you what your data is saying. Okay, so to create that, we will use the scatter plot. All right. So the two things we are visualizing is our total product sold, and then how does it affect our profit? Okay. So take now this is how the scatter plot works. So you have different fields here. So what we're interested in is the two numeric values. Remember, I said it's a correlation. You can see the relationship between two or more numeric variables. All right. So we want to compare our profit to the number of units sold. If there's a correlation, that means the more we sell, the more product we sell, there's a likelihood that the more profit we'll get. All right. So I'll take my unit sold to the x-axis. All right. And then my profit to the y-axis. All right. And then I come and I don't want to sum it. I want to summarize it. Okay. So what if you observe, you can see that the more, we can't really say that there's a correlation. Okay. So you can see that the more units sold, the profit is it's not really, there's no much profit, because we have, so on average about 800 units sold, the profit is not, there's no correlation, there's no relationship, there's no increase with, if there was an increase in profit and increase in the unit sold, we can say that there's a relationship. All right. So the scatter plot is used to show relationship between two variables. All right. So that's why it's very important in visual also. So I'm trying to see how we could just touch some of these visuals. Okay, Deborah, go ahead. Your hands are up.
Okay, sir, please, how are you interpreting it? Because the dots above, they are high actually. So I don't understand how you are interpreting it. That you said there is no. like relationship between them, abi correlation, yes, between the two. How are you interpreting it?
All right. Rafa, please go ahead with your question. Let me see if I can answer both of them.
Yes, sir. Please,
Yes, good evening.
concerning the scattered plot, can you throw more light on it? Thank you.
Okay, you're welcome. Does anyone have any other question? Anyone has any other question? All right. So, like I said, the scatter plot is used to show the relationship between two numeric variables. All right. So the analogy I give, I think that's a simple analogy. You know, reading more at night will it make you have better grades at school? Right. So we've seen when we take a sample size of our data, we can say that it's either that reading more at night equals more or better grades, or people could read more. But at the same time, I've seen people who read more in school, but then their grades are not matching up with the effort or energy put in. So we can't say that there's a correlation, in the sense that we can't come out with a fact and say that if you read more, all right, you will have better grades. We could come and say if you sleep more, you become more healthy. All right. So is there a correlation? That's what it means. So that's what the scatter plot helps us to do. Right now, on this visual now, we're trying to see how, what's the question? We're trying to see how units sold affects our profit. So the question now is, if we sell more products, all right, are we going to have more profit? Definitely, every business is there to make profit. So if we see that we are selling more profit, okay, we are selling more product rather, and then if we calculate our profits, it's increasing, then we can say there's a strong correlation, or there's a correlation between these two relationships. That means, oh yeah, now let's start selling more products so that we can have more revenue or profit. All right, so now we're using this to visualize. So on my x-axis is the unit sold, and on my y-axis is the profit. All right, so if you see these dots, let me take it. Okay, if you see these dots now, there are different data points. All right, so we see that when you see here cluster, what it means is that there are a lot of product that are sold there, and the profit around here is minimal. Okay, if you come to this far extreme, you can see that the number of products sold here, if you trace it back to the y-axis where our total profit is, all right, you can see that the profit is not really much, right? But you can see some outliers that are far from the normal observations. Okay, so that means the number of products sold here, this is, if you trace this line now down here, okay, about, you can see about 525 products, all right, is giving a profit of about 14 million dollars. So we can see, so this is an outlier now, for example, right? So we can see that if we sell this unit of product, this is what is giving us around here. If we sell this unit of products, all right, this is what is giving around here. So so we can't really come and now say that the higher the number of products sold, the higher the profit. Because if this thing is increasing, then it should be increasing up here too. So we can now say that, okay, if we sell more products, this is the profit we're having. You get, so there's no strong correlation or relationship. Have I explained it to satisfactory level? Do we understand?
Yes, sir.
Who asked the question?
Yes, sir. I understand now.
Okay, okay. Any other question? Let me move on.
Yes, I have a question.
All right, go ahead, please.
Hello,
Yes.
hello. I submitted my photos, I think on the 26th of October, and I've not gotten the congratulatory message in my email since then. But I submitted over I think 150 pictures or thereabout.
Hey, Adewale,
Yes, yes, Adewale.
please can you chat me up on Telegram if you're in the
How do
group
I
chat? If you're in the group
in the
chat,
group
chat
chat?
me up.
Okay, on Telegram, right?
Yes.
What's your name? What's your name so I can search you there?
I will send it to you on the chat now.
Huh?
I will send it to the chat now.
Okay, 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 okay. I'll be on the Telegram now. All right. All right. Thank you very much.
All right. So I think we can proceed from here. Right. So as we proceed, we'll answer more questions and I'll just see how we can draw out some insights. Okay. So all right, let's proceed with creating, the dashboard, and so that we can have everything in place and see how it's done in Power BI, right? So it's almost the same thing with Excel. So it's just that there are little differences. Okay, so the next thing I want to do is to come to my report view. Okay. Okay, so the first thing we'll do is to create we should have our template of what we're trying to replicate, right? So it's always important you have a draft of what you are trying to visualize, all right? If you've carried out the Excel project before, I think it's the same thing, so it will be easy for you. So this is just how we do it in Power BI. So to build your visualization, you should have a draft already. We talked about KPIs. We worked on the KPIs and standard visualizations. Most of the time the KPIs are always on the top. All right. So this is just me creating the visual now, and we can go about it. So we would replicate these two. All right, the same format and everything, and this is what we're going to do. So the first thing I want to do is to come over to my visualization. Okay, I'm already there. You can see this is build visuals, all of this, and this is the format page. Okay, so
Sorry, I'm on Telegram already. I've not gotten any response from you guys. Hello, this is Adewale. I've not gotten any response.
hello, please can you utilize the chat box?
Yes, I was directed to Telegram.
All right, so just exercise a little bit of patience. All right, so this is just for
I
orderliness. This
submitted
call
my
is on.
photos since on
Adewale,
the
please,
26th
you are
of October.
disrupting the class. Can you chat me up, please?
How do I chat you? That's what I'm asking now. How do I chat you?
Hold on, exercise a little bit of patience. All right, so sorry about that. I'm coming over to my canvas. All right, I already have some of the visuals. So one of the things that informed this visual, this dashboard, is the brand color of Adidas. They have just, I think, three colors. black, white, and blue color, different shades of blue. Right, so we'll try and replicate that. So that's what informed this, the color. And if you observe, your dashboard should just have, you know, a few colors for aesthetics too and other things. All right, so I'm coming over here. I'm going to browse image. All right, I already have some pictures here. So I'm going to use any of this background. Let's use this. Okay, so the image fits. I'm going to put it as fit and reduce my transparency. If I put it as normal, this is what you see. Okay, so this is how you create visuals in Power BI. There are several ways. Several roads to a destination. So as you progress on your journey, you can decide to branch off depending on what works for you. So I'm going to fit it in, all right? And I don't want it to be too bold or strong. So that's where this use of transparency comes in. All right. So later we can try to adjust it or depending on what we want. Okay, so that's the first thing we'll do, creating this dashboard. All right. So just follow through. So the next thing we'll do is to, you know, create our tiles. All right. We want to have several tiles like this where we have our KPIs. All right. We want to have our filters here in this particular tile, and then our visuals here. Okay. So this is how we're going to do it. Come over to our home tab. Let me see this clearly. Come over to insert rather, and then you have shapes. Okay, you have different kinds of shapes that you can impute, right? So make use of this rounded rectangle. So I double click it. All right, so this is what we have. So I'm going to duplicate it. I'll keep on duplicating it. Control C, Control V. I have one here already. All right. The next thing I'll do is to take it to adjust it to the size I want. All right. Also, I'll do the same thing here. Adjust it to the size I want. You can decide not to use the background.
So, sorry to bump on your conversation. Please, I've sent a message to Madam Isioma on the message. I don't know if she can respond to me, please.
All right, you said you've okay. Please. I don't
I
want
just dropped
to.
a chat to her now.
Adewale, please, I will respond to you.
Okay, thank you. I would appreciate if you do that sometime, please.
All right, so what was I saying? Okay, so you have your tiles here. All right, you have your tiles here, and we'll now begin formatting it. Okay, we'll begin formatting it to the color we want. So I'm going to change this to. I'm coming over to my properties. All right. Okay, we can reduce the rounded corners if we don't want it too sharp. Okay, so we control C and control V again. Now, if you take a look at this visual, all right, you can see that none of the visuals are scattered. I arrange them in different, categories or in different segments. So I wouldn't expect a line chart to be maybe on the same tile with something else that is not relatable. So if we're talking about sales, if we're talking about profit, all right, it should be on the same tile or on the same segment. That way it makes your visual easily readable. All right, so we can interact with it. So we shouldn't be talking about revenue, because as we progress we have need to create different dashboards. All right, so if you participated in maybe one of these data hackathons or campaigns, contests and everything, one of the things that they grade your visuals with is how well you're able to communicate your findings. All right, so you shouldn't be scattered and the likes like that. So these are the tiles I want to create. So we'll just do them as quick as possible. So we can take this here. Okay. And control copy this. Okay. Okay, so we can add one more here. So feel free to replicate this. So the first step to learning is by imitation. We don't stay there for too long. Be creative. All right. Corners are too rounded. Okay. So do it to whatever taste you want. All right. All right. So the next thing we'll do is to format them to the color. So you can see over here, I used white, so we could replicate the same thing also. This thing always confuses me. All right. So with time, you get used to this visual pane here. All right. So having put our tiles and everything and our panel, the next thing we'll do is to begin to fill in our KPIs here. All right, they're very important. Fill in our KPIs here, and this is how we're going to do it. So since we want the KPI to be very interactive, it's not proper, or it's not best practice to use text box. All right, because if you take a look at this, by the click of anything here on my filters, all right, you can see that they are going to change. All right, so if I click on Amazon, I want to see the total sale of, what did I click just now? Okay, I think Amazon came on board in 2021. All right. Okay, so there's a lot to check out in this data set. Okay. All right. So you can see. So we will not use text box. We will use our cards. All right, because if I use text box, all of this won't be interactive. All right, they won't be interactive. So you can see they are changing, and you can know how sales. All right, if you see over here for this company calls, for this retailer rather, you can see there's a strong relationship here on the total profit and revenue by quarter. So we'll get to observe all of this too. All right, so I'll go over to my visuals right now, and then I'm going to put in all my tiles, my visuals here, my KPIs here. So I want to name so this is the order we'll do it. We'll copy, since we have created them here already. All right, so in order of things, I'll put my product count, so I can right click on it and click on copy visual. All right, so I come over to my visuals here. Okay, and I use Ctrl V, so you can see I've brought it here. So there's no need to come and create it again. All right, so I can bring it here. All right, there's a lot. So let me just, at any point, if you have any question, just indicate. So I'll have to format it. There's a lot of formatting we're going to do here. First of all, I'm not interested in using the name here. So I'm going to come over here. Go to my, yes, so this is on my visual. So I've highlighted it. My callout value is 6. Right, I want to reduce the font size. I can't. Let me check this. Let's check 15. 15 might be too small. Let me see what I use here just to replicate, so that it will be very easy for us. So I could just, okay, 15. All right. So the font size, the color and everything, what informs is it depends on the information you want to put on your visual. For example, if I want to put a lot of things on this visual, it will now inform the size I'm going to use for all of them. All right, so it's just based on preference. There are no real rules. All right, so feel free, replicate, and then go ahead to. So I'm going to remove the count of the product. All right, I think this is the category level. Okay, I've removed it. So I'm just interested in putting the count. All right. Okay. All right, I don't want it to. I'm going to remove this, the visual. There's an effect applied to it. I don't want the shadow effect. Okay, I want it to be plain 2D. All right, so so the next thing I want to keep is my unit sold. All right, sum of units sold. Where is my sum of units sold? Total. Okay, so right click on it, copy this visual, come over here. Right. So we'll do the same thing. We'll move the category and then the call out 15. Okay. So this is how we build the visual. Okay. So I have our the next thing we'll be doing is average price. All right. So instead of us doing that, let me copy this so that I would not waste time. So while working with our average price, so I'm going to check this off. All right, and choose something else. There is a measure I created, average price. All right, and I drag it and drop here. So I have our average price. So I copy and paste it again because of time. I check this off. The next thing I want to put is total cost. So I'll check this off again and check for our total costs. Put it to this field pin here. Okay. So Control C, Control V. Total revenue generated. So I check this off. Total revenue generated. Where is my total revenue? Okay, I bring it to this field. All right, Control C, Control V. So I don't have to replicate what I did over and over. The total revenue. The next thing is total profit. Okay. Check this off again. This is my total profit. Control C, Control V. The next thing I'll be doing is my profit margin. Okay. So we have a total of 7 KPIs. All right. So the next thing I want to do is to bring in, just so that I can gauge how I'm going to visualize everything. I'll bring in a logo here. And to be able to bring a logo in, you come over to images here under your insert tab. So if you want to bring in anything, any object, you come over to your insert tab. So all of these tools, they are similar rather, from Excel to Power BI, Tableau also. So it's just even Excel. I just said Excel. Yes. So this is it. Spreadsheets and WPS is just very simple. Come over to image here. All right. So this is what I'm interested in bringing. Okay. So I click on it. Okay, there's something I put here. Let me check what's that. All right, okay. Let me copy it. Okay, let me just do it so that we see how it's done. So in order to bring something like that, this is just based on preference now. You make use of your text box. All right. So now this is where you can make use of a text box because you are not interested in making it interactive. If we had used text box and put all of these values, it would be static. So we can't make it interactive. Right. So I'm going to put type here. Adidas sales, right, for the year 2020, 2021. Okay. So this is how I'm going to do it. So if you want to move, you might find difficulty in moving this. If you want to move it, you click on this more option and drag it. Right? You might find it difficult moving this. So this is how you move it. You can't move it like this, or so you just move it around. Okay. And then you can change the color here. Before we begin formatting, let's do the most important things first. All right, so we can align them properly like this using these trackers, these markers here. All right. So the name also will also inform how you space it. Right, so this is total count. So we'll come over to text box if you want to include any text. So we can call this total or products. So it's similar to okay, let me centralize this. Okay, so Ctrl+C, Ctrl+V. Can call this, what is this? This is a unit sold. Okay, unit sold. Oh, okay, Ctrl+C, Ctrl+C, Ctrl+V. I'm not sure what I'm doing. Okay, so when you see something like this ash color, it means that your text box is not properly aligned. You can just increase the space so that we won't have that thing showing. I think it has gone. All right. So Ctrl+C, Ctrl+V. What's happening? Okay. All right. So this is our average price. So for those of us that were in class yesterday, I'll go through the video again. So I said the average price is a representation of all the total. It's a unique value that it's part of descriptive statistics. It tells us what the normal price range is for individual products. That does not mean you will not see prices more than this value here. All right. So it's just it's more like a typical value that represents the remaining price of other products. So you call this average price. It's an important KPI. All right. So I can decide to highlight this, adjust it rather. So we can make use of your markers. They're very important. They will guide you. Control C, Control V. I think what's this? This is this should be our total revenue or total cost rather. So this is our total revenue. Hit Control C, Control V. This will be our total profit. Control C, Control V. And this will be our profit margin. Okay. All right. Before I proceed, so this is our KPIs. All right. There's something wrong here. Okay. Okay. All right. Any question? Let me try and format this thing very well. There are extra spaces here. Don't need all of these extra spaces. Just need was enough. Okay, this is overlapping this. All right. It's now overlapping the extra spaces here. All right, I think it's okay. All right. Yeah, any question? All right. Patience, please go ahead.
Hello, good evening, sir.
Yes, good evening.
Sir, please, I noticed when you fix the KPI, you turn off the title and you rather use the text box. I want to ask, is there any reason to that?
Okay, so the thing is, the KPIs, all right, the KPIs most of the times, sorry, not the KPIs, which, sorry, hello,
It's not from me.
okay. So the KPIs, yes, to answer your question, if you take a look at this, if I copy this visual, and bring it here, if I bring this visual here and paste it, right? So the more I try to reduce it, you see it goes,
Okay.
it hides. So that's why I just come over to the call out value, reduce it, and then the category label. Even if I try to increase, it, it might not give me what I want because I want to compress it to a very small size.
Okay.
That's why I just make use of the tab. But for your KPIs, it's recommended that you make use of your card visuals because of interactivity. All right.
Yeah.
So that's it. So I'm going to get rid of this now. Remove this.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, you're welcome. All right. So the next thing we'll be doing, right, is to bring in our visuals. All right. So I'm still making. Let's see how far we can go. Let me do the most important things first. Formatting can. I'll share this. You can use it. You can, so with this video you can recreate this. All right. So I want to just do the most important things first, because if I begin to, it takes a while to build a dashboard. If I begin to format this to color and everything, it might take our time. We have just some minutes left. All right. So the next thing I want to do is to bring my this visual in. All right. So we've created it already. There are several approaches to do it. Other people, they begin to create their visuals here on these tiles. All right. So there are several ways. There's no one way. So whatever works for you. At the end, you can now clean up your visual. So we'll come over here and we right click on this. You can see, right click on it. You can see copy visual. All right. So, okay, I've copied it already. So we'll begin to put them into our tiles. Right. And then there are several ways to also create your background. If you come over to let me click on this background. Sometimes you can go to, there's a way you can go to, because of time I'm not able to cover that. You can go to your PowerPoint and create your slides, your tiles here. Go to PowerPoint, all right, and create it. But it has its own pros and cons. So that's just by the way anyway. So this is my visual. All right, you see it can't even enter very completely. But let's just put it in first. We'll format it. Okay, let's go one by one. So if your tile is too small, you can as well adjust it till it fits what you want. So I'm going to reduce the font size. So this is my total cost and total profit. I will go over to my visuals here. Let's take a look at this. So the reason I'm visualizing this is because I want to see the comparison between my cost and how much am I profiting as a business. All right. So you can just so it's best represented like this, your visual. So you can see that on this column we have it's divided into two segments. The sky blue, which denotes our total cost. Everyone wants to know how well they're making profit, right? And then the total profit is denoted by the dark blue. So you can see a visual representing that, rather other than all of these numeric values or KPI. So you can just see, okay, at a glance, the total product from the main street footwear, this is the profit we had. So this can indicate if it's a 2x sale, you made 100% or 50% extra on your sales. All right. So you can as well, in the previous class, I said you can as well put your total revenue. Where's okay? This is your revenue. All right. So you can now see how much you are spending. So this total cost is sometimes it's not always money. But in this case now we are visualizing it using our sales. All right. So your total cost can be resources, different kind of resources, energy, time. All right. So this will just give you a good representation. So this is a stacked bar chart. So we have our revenue, we have our total profit, and so you can just visualize it. All right. So I'll get rid of it. Whichever one you want to make use of, feel free. All right. So I'm just gauging if my energy input is equal to my energy output. You can now gauge if we're really making profit. So over to my visual. All right. I'm going to format this. Go to your format visual. We created the visual already. We've built the visual. We're formatting it. So we have our x-axis, we have our y-axis. All right. I want to reduce if I turn off the legend, you see, I don't have the legend again. So looking at this visual, you can't know what it's, you can only know that it's visualizing total cost and total profit. But then you don't know which of them is cost, which of them is profit. So we'll leave the visual on. If you come down, you can see, you can edit the title. So you come down, you can see the positioning. You can position it here. You can position it top right, anywhere. So we'll leave it like that. For the legend, I think there should be a size here. All right. So this thing can be confusing sometimes. It takes a while to understand it, so you might be doing a try and error. So anything you want to alter on your x-axis, you come over here. Anything you want to alter on your y-axis, come over here. So let's format the columns. All right. So I'll come over to the columns. Is it columns here again? Okay, let me check here. Okay, so it's under, let me close all of this. It's under categories. Rather, if I say categories, under layout. Let me close all of this. So have your layout here. Where is this layer? Columns, okay. So I want to increase the space between my columns. All right. So this is how you can do it. You can see how it is. So let's bring it out and see it properly. So this is spaces between series. So this is what it does. So I just want to have it's this is just formatting now. So everybody has their preference. So this spacing it gives you a demarcation between the stacks on your colon. Right. If I click onto it, it becomes very wide. 5 is the highest. So we can just leave it as maybe 1 or 2. All right. So for the x-axis, I don't want, I already know we're visualizing total cost by profit. So if you can decide to leave it, you will get rid of the name of the columns on the y-axis. So you can see title, you can turn it off, right? You can also turn off values, right? Just to create more space on your tiles, right? So you can use if you turn off your values, you can still be able to, this thing is activated. All right, you can see the total cost for main streetwear footwear that each retailer, or in total all the retailers produced. All right, so you can make use of this your tooltip here. So get rid of that. Right, so that's for the y-axis. So you can go to the x-axis, turn it off too, so you can see you're creating more room for your visual. All right, your product, you can turn off the title. All right, there's a hand up. Go ahead, please. Anybody raise a hand up?
Sorry, it's a mistake.
All right. Okay. So please reference the previous video because I explained some things there. Right. It was a makeup class, so it was a makeup class. So this is what we have. Right. There's something else that is missing. Okay. So we can now bring in our visual here. Let me reduce the font size of the. So I turned on series explosion. It increases the length of our colon. All right. So whichever one works for you, depending on the tiles you are creating. If I increase it, you can see how it becomes slimmer, and it just to make your visuals aesthetics, to give aesthetics to it. I'm going to go over to the generals, and this title, I'm interested in the total cost and profit here. So I want to reduce the size to let's do 12. Maybe later on we can try and reduce it. Later we can adjust all of this. So I mean, so let me reduce this and see how this. So okay, trying to make this fit in. Okay. All right. So the next thing we'll do is to bring in our quantity. This visual we created here. Control. Okay. Right click on it. You can see copy visual. Come over here. Let's just format it before we put it in our tab. All right. So we'll use our colon, head, the header, the size. We'll go over to our visuals, the x-axis. All right. Can turn off. Turn off the title. The y-axis. Can turn off the value, the title. Let's check what's. You can check the colon also. Of course, so you can change your theme color here. All right. You can change it to whatever you want to. Where were we just now? I think we're in, let's use this. Would that be the same thing? No. Okay. Oh no. I don't want to miss my color. Okay. So we can come over here and it's the time you get used to. So we come over to the space category also. All right. If you want to make your colors very thin. Okay, so we don't have spaces between series here because it's not a stacked bar chart. But if I come here, you can see it is enabled. I can see spaces between series and this series explosion, right? So if I increase, remember what I said just now, it has increased. It has increased, so we'll leave it at, I think, 2. All right, so that's the reason we don't have it here. It's disabled. So we'll come over here. So this is a visual, all right? Any question? If there's any question, please indicate. I'm trying to go very fast so that we can commence SQL. All right, so the next thing I want to do is to my revenue by retail by sales method. All right, so I'll right click on this, copy visuals, I bring it to this pane. Control paste it. What's happening? Remove this. Copy visual. Okay, I didn't copy it. Okay. So you see this sales method now, it's showing us, it helps us to focus on how different channels of sales, all right, is contributing to the overall revenue. Okay, so let me just focus on creating the visuals. This thing has a lot to do with, you know, how it drives revenue in the market. All right. Okay, let me, I think this is the best place to. Okay, so this just pay close attention. If I don't, let me, at least we're doing analysis now. So recently I mentioned it in the class yesterday. Okay. Can we hear me?
Yes. Yes, sir. We can hear you.
All right. So look at, you might want to ask why we're visualizing this. So I want to ask why we're visualizing this now. You know, sales method. So this is in store, this is outlet, this is online. All right. Hold on, please. Let me try and. All right. Can we hear me? Okay. So
Yes, sir.
so this, let me tell you how this drives. Let me tell you, maybe so that we don't just get accustomed to building visuals, and then we can't really tell what's, you know, how this drives analysis. So see, recently I ordered something from Jumia, all right, and you know Jumia, they have different methods of channel distribution. You can, they have outlets, okay, retailers. You can pay on, you can pay on delivery. Yes, you can pay on delivery. You can pay online. All right. I don't know which other method is there again. Which, is there another method? I know of pay on delivery. You pay online. Is there another one? Okay. So
Yes, you can pay in the pickup store.
okay, that's the, yes, that's the pay on delivery until it arrives before you now pay. You can pay using cash. Exactly. So I don't know if it's, if I'm correct, but I know recently they've stopped sorry, pick up, what's it called, deliver at your doorstep. Do they still do that? Let me be sure, because I know, from what I know, is
No,
that they've stopped it,
they don't do
right?
it.
Okay, pay on the, pay on, they don't bring it to your doorstep. Because I remember one time I ordered something, I think that was in 2020 or so. It was brought to my doorstep. All right, so now, if, now that, okay, let me tell you the real experience now. See something. Recently I ordered something and I went to, it was pay, it was go to the store. I didn't want to pay online. I wanted to pay on delivery. So when the product arrived, when I go to that pickup station, I now pay with cash. All right. So when I went to the store to pay with cash, honestly speaking, the crowd that was there, I was scared. I wanted to just go back, and because it, the days of, the day to pick it up was already counting down. So they say you have 5 working days to pick your product. So I went there the second day. So when I saw the number of people in a small office, over, I'm not exaggerating, close to 50. You know, when, I don't know if you know, when you're trying to collect your PVC or your voter's card, you know that those kind of crowd, it was intimidating. In fact, you want to, I beg, thank God I've not even paid yet. I can go and buy it in one retail shop out there, because I was not ready to stand that queue. I'm not kidding you. People were there. People had been there since morning. I got there in the afternoon around 3. People had been there since 8 o'clock in the morning and it was there. I left there around past to 6, a bit past 6 hours of standing. Now, see how this thing affects business now. That's why we collect data. So this is what I just recently, I was looking at it. I said this will be a good case study to use while I'm working on this project. So now, when you are in sales, when you are carrying out your product, or when you are, if you're into business, the, it is the customer first before even your profit. If you prioritize your profit, yes, we're there to make profit, but if you prioritize your profit, all right, on, and at the expense of your customer, you begin to see the effect. So this is what I mean. They stopped They stopped door delivery, which is supposed to be, I believe why they brought it was for convenience. All right. So you can imagine you're at your house in any remote location, they will come to your doorstep to deliver the product. Now, if I begin to count the cost as to I'm going to Susan,
Sir,
what do you mean? I just saw your chat.
sir, they do. I bought something just a month ago and they delivered to me and I paid on delivery.
No, I mean to your doorstep. Oh, they came
Yes.
to you.
Yes.
Which location, please?
Abuja.
Really?
Yeah.
At your last month?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Maybe it's in, I don't know. Probably could be in maybe in few locations. Abuja is capital city, of course. I'm not sure because I've ordered in 2 different locations in the north and even in the south. All right. So I'm not very sure, but I know as at early March this year, I wanted to order something and they didn't they told me that they don't do delivery again based on I was in Uyo as at then. All right. So now where I ordered from is even from the north. So 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 okay, so probably it's just maybe Abuja and a few locations. But okay, let's continue with, okay, someone is saying maybe it's this dispatch. Which location are you, Patience? Okay. I was even hoping that maybe they will even do pay on delivery in Lagos. So Lagos is the central of is driving the economy. So if they stopped in Lagos, that means they've stopped in major locations. All right. So that's by the way. All right. So now, if I begin to count the cost, of going to stand in the queue, which is not even worth it, there were people there that were saying, in fact, safe. Let me just they've paid already online. Oh. They say they're ready to forfeit the payment. Let them. It's better for them to refund their money and they'll go and buy it in a local shop close to their houses or something. That is not worth it coming to stand. Why did they stop the delivery? You see, all of this can begin to affect. They can begin to affect their sales. All right. So because they've killed, they've removed convenience. They're now, to them now, maybe they might be thinking they're making profit, but then honestly speaking, I wouldn't want, if I want to order something again, I wouldn't want to go and stand on that queue. I'd rather go. People will buy fuel, all right, to go and stand on queue. They can even get it cheaper. What was really bringing the sales to them? Okay, was that convenience? Everybody likes convenience. That's why I said you prioritize your customers. All right, it's about the customers. It's not about you. It's a hard truth. Honestly speaking, it's a hard truth because we want to make profit. But then there's something that says a satisfied customer will go and tell 3 persons, but a dissatisfied customer will go and tell 3,000 persons. All of us can relate. If you go and if a fashion designer sews for you and it's not, you want to make it loud, this is what the person sold for me, because you are dissatisfied. But once you're satisfied, there's a tendency, it's just few people you tell, but you see people who even go online to go and start dragging the brand name down. I imagine I ordered something from this and I got what I got versus what I ordered. All right, so you see, collecting data now, you can see sales method. All of this, it's a very important visual to display on if you are working with sales method now, if you're working with data that contains sales method. You can see how this will begin to affect. So if you collect data along that time frame, you can see how it will begin to impact people. People will begin to withdraw because they've removed convenience. All right. So there are different metrics to gauge it anyway. But I'm just showing that how analysis can vary across different things you are measuring up against. So it's just a way of trying. I just wanted to buttress this point here. I hope you understand what I'm trying to drive at. Let me kick off. Okay, any question, any contribution, or maybe you have a it's I want it to be interactive. If you have anything to to contribute. Okay, so I assume that this data now, you can now see how it has, you can see the relevance of the sales method in-store, outlet, online. All right, so you can see how it impacts the revenue and profit. And if you watch now, there might be a likelihood that maybe Jumia might begin to have a reduction in their revenue, because a lot of people are now, they are interested in just going to get it close by. So it begin to tell on their revenue, definitely. All right, so it's important to collect this data. So let's format this. I'll right click on visuals. Let me run now. This few minutes. Mm. Okay, so this will be the title. So let's take this down to 12. Let's see what we have on our color. So I just want 3 colors, right, to keep it. No, not here. I think you build on my visual slices. All right. So I want my in-store to have, this color. It's too light. Let's use this. All right, beautiful. So my outlet will be black shade. All right. Remember, we're working with the brand color Adidas, and then what's this online? Online will be okay. Well, I think we're good. And then, so I don't want all of these things to be showing this sales method in-store out. So these are how we're going to format it. We'll go to legend, because these are legends. I hope I'm correct. But let's turn legend off. Okay, we'll turn legend off. All right, so I've turned legend off. Let me go to outlets. There's so many headings here. Okay, so I'm trying to, right now, I want to format these values here. All right, I want to format these values here and put, so that by me looking at it, we'll know what this color represents, whether black represents online or Black Friday or this represents in store. So to do that, we'll come over to our detail label. Yes, detail label. So label content, exactly. So this is what I'm looking for. So you can see category, you can see data value. Currently it's on data value. What it means is that it's showing us the data, which is in this case is the revenue, and it's showing us the percentage of total. All right. You can click all data. I want it to show in store so that it represents, you can see what this is all data. If I click on only category, to just show in store. All right. So you can see how all of this is adding up to the total revenue. As if I put data value, it's just going to show us the total revenue. So we'll use all details, right? And then I usually like leaving my percentage in 2 decimal places. Okay, and in this case, we can decide to, for the revenue itself, we can decide to reduce the decimal places. Right, so click on values here. This is percentage decimal places, the value decimal places. So you can take it to 0 or 1. You can see it begins to change. You can begin to change it 8 decimal places. So you can leave it as 0. All right, so this is what we have. Right. So this is for this. The next thing we'll do is revenue by retail, copy visual. Oh, and control paste it. Right, so I just hope we had more time. There's a lot to do. Okay, we can leave it like this. So let's format this. General, let's look at title. Reduce the font size. Right. Oh, and so you can copy this one now. Copy table. Let me move on. Let me try very fast. Control paste. Data analysis involves critical thinking. Okay. If I settle down to analyze what the case study I was just using, you see you get a lot of insights. If I settle down to analyze it, because of time, there's some things I wanted to drive at using that Jumia case study. We don't have Jumia here, we have Amazon, we have Walmart. Walmart, these are big boys in the industry, right? Spot Direct, these are big boys in the industry when it comes to e-commerce. Amazon has been there for years. So let's look at the title. Let's reduce this. All right, can reduce this. So we can reduce this, and so let's look at the visuals, the y-axis. Can turn off title. All right, so we can come over here. Come over here and go to the x-axis. Turn off title also. So this can call this. So this is visuals. Come to the total profit. I say so this is, we can change this now. So remember we're using this visual as okay, let me reduce the, before I change that, let me reduce the, I don't like the box, the circles are too big. Circles, look at, let's go to properties. Visual rather. GB markers, okay, yeah, under markers. So this thing can confuse sometimes. So you just it takes a while. Most of the time I still permutate it a bit, do try and error. So this is, where was I just now? I was on it just now. Markers, all right. So this is type. We're using circle. We could use square, use any of this, but we'll go with circle. We can reduce the size for better visual and clarity. All right, so where was I wanted to, okay. The title, all right. You can say can anyone give us any what we can use here? Let me throw it open. Remember, we're trying to look at the relationship between profit and unit sold. Is there a correlation? Is there a relationship? Is there, if we have increase in profit, or does it mean we have increase in units sold? Does anyone want to give it a try? Let's call this, okay, because of time. Can say I'm thinking of a name now to use. I don't want the total profit by unit, so it's as if we are visualizing on a bar chart. Okay, let's see how units sold affects price. All right, so what's the next thing now? All right, so okay, we've not formatted the color for this. Okay. So come over here, click on visual. These are the colors. All right, you can use West Gear black. So you also, as you are learning, you also learn how to blend colors too. Spot direct, what did I use for spot direct? There's a dark color. Okay. Oh no, I'm still on West Gear. Spot direct. Okay. Foot locker. Yes. All right. Look at calls. Amazon. Can use this for Amazon. And Walmart. Okay, it's called 2 lights. All right, so next we'll bring our matrix here. All right. We didn't create matrix. Oh, okay. Right click on this. Copy visual. Come over to page. Control paste it. So this is the total. So this matrix, you can use matrix to visualize a particular to visualize, your data across different attributes, across different categories. All right, so this is total sales. So the Amazon did 71 count of sales in the Midwest region, Northeast, South, Southeast, West, and a total of this. So these are core visuals that you would want to put on your data. All right, so come over here and bring our time series analysis. We're visualizing by quarter, can visualize by year, can visualize by month. What am I doing? Control paste. Okay. All right, so you can come over here. Now we want to visualize this. This is units sold by retailer and region. So come over to our matrix. There's an overlap here. I don't want that. Okay. So come over, we right click on the, or left click, or just click the matrix and come to the general and put title, turn up title. Let's see what title is there. Okay, there's no title. Let's write our title. All right. So we see units sold by retailer and region. Units sold by retailer and region. All right. And we'll reduce the font size to 12. Format it again. So let's focus on this. So this is used to highlight. You can use this for in sales now. If our date had time allocated to it, all right, we could use it to show peak sales. I think it's getting too small. Let me see if I can increase this guy. Okay. Style. I think it should be border. No, fill. I'll do that later. I'll do that waste time. So this is it, right? So I want us to highlight. I want us to put some conditional formatting here. So remember I think that was part of our first class of first 3 classes where we learned about conditional formatting in Excel, and what conditional formatting is used to highlight trends, highlight patterns, what else again, and your colors should have meaning. All right, so just the way I did it here would replicate it also. So you can see I was using the conditional formatting to highlight, the total count of products sold across the region by retailers, right? So you can use it to highlight this. So you can see that the higher the color is, it shows that there is a high sales in that particular region. For here now, we can see West for West gear. So this is like a matrix. If we're in Excel now, you can use this as you can draw insights from this using or you could use XLOOKUP values. You could use which are those functions are those again? Those functions. Index and match, yes, and to do a lot of things like this. So we've come over to conditional format. This is how you apply conditional formatting in Excel, in Power BI rather. So you right click. Where am I? Okay. So you right click on the values, right? So remember, these are 2 categories of data. These are categorical data. This is numeric data, right? Because it's in numbers. So we want to apply conditional formatting on the values themselves. So you right click on, when you highlight the visual, you right click on the value field and come over to conditional formatting. So we want to format background color. All right, you want to format the background color. Yes, background color. So it opens this pane for you here. Background color, count of units sold. So the format style we're using is gradient. All right, and what field are we formatting? This is the count of units sold. All right, apply to values only. Don't apply to totals. Apply to values only. So the values apply to values only is just these values. All right, we're not applying it to totals, or we're not another way applying it to values and totals. So this is the conditional formatting. How do we format it? To keep it as 0. Okay, how should we format empty values? Good, as 0. If you come over here, you can observe calls didn't make any sales here in Southeast. So there's a lot of hold on please. There's a lot of insights you can draw from here. All right, so you can see calls didn't make any sales here. If I click on 2020, right, and click on Amazon, you can see there's nothing here. When I click on 2021, that's something you can derive from your data now. I'm on 2020. I'm on 2021 rather, and I want to see how Foot Locker made sales in 2021. I click on calls. You can see Sport Direct in 2021. This is their sales. Go back to 2020. All right. So format empty values as where were we just now? Okay, so this is what it means. All right, so we want to use different values of colors, or different colors rather. You can see lowest value here, and you can see highest value here. If I click on OK now, you can choose the color you want to use to format. Okay, so let the highest value have a dark shade. All right, a dark blue shade. Let's use this. And let the lowest value have a light color. So if I click on OK, this is what you observe. Okay, we just have 2 shades of colors, right? But I want it to be more interactive, right? So as the value reduces, the tonal gradation follows suit. All right, it will help you see how the trend is in the number as it increases or decreases. So right click on it again. Conditional formatting. So this is where we were. So we add a middle color. All right. So you could use one color, right, to represent it, or you could use several colors, but we'll use one color now. This will be the middle list value, and then the middle value could be any color in between. So if I click on OK, it changes. All right. So you can see some values are hiding. I can't see for the darkest one. I can't see it. All right. So you can see here that there's a lot of sales here. So for us to be able to visualize that, it's also under formatting. We'll come to generals. Where could this be now? Text color is black. Okay, let's change the text color to, let's see, white. No, I think I did the wrong thing. Okay, that was the heading. The header rather. Let's leave it as black again. Are we together?
Yes, sir.
All right. Let me check where this is. This title. Let me look at my visual values. Okay. All right. I think it should be this one. Okay. So that's background color. They're just changing now. Let's take it back to black. Something wrong here. Let me check this. These are my values. Text colors. Let me check text colors. Raphael, go ahead, please.
So I think where you are supposed to click is the alternate text color.
Sorry?
I think it's the alternate text color you're supposed to click.
All right, yeah. Wait, there's something. It's changing this footlock, this retailer ID. No, this is not what I want. Let's change everything back to black. No. It can be confusing sometimes. Hold on. Okay. Okay, we are where we left off before. Now I want to change the. Wait, let me check this. I'm not interested in. Okay, this is already white. Alternate. Okay. We'll come to that. I don't want this to take my time. But I think it's around here you can change your colors. Right. Let me focus on something else. So that at least we've seen how this is being represented. All right. So these colors are really deep. What else? What else? Let's check. Okay, let me get rid of this. This you can decide to leave it. So you can decide to leave this axis here. Axis. All right. So it's already showing revenue by total profit per quarter. All right. So the next thing I want to do, formatting takes time. You see how formatting takes time. So let's not spend much time on that. So we'll come over to, I want to include our, so on this panel now, we want to include our filters. All right. So like I did here. So see something I think you should know. Now, you might be tempted to put everything on your visual. All right. You might be tempted to put everything on your visual. Put location. If you observe now, I didn't put location. I didn't put anything location on this visual. All right. I already have my region here. So if I click on region, it gives me my sale. Okay. If I click on this region, you can see south. This is how my sale is. All right. In store rather. Okay. So what I'm trying to say is that sometimes you can segment it, right? It's not everything that's supposed to be on your visual, just important things, important things. Some of the saying less is more, which is very correct, which is very true. Sometimes keep it simple, right? So if I want to slice my data by region, I have my region slicer here, right? So I can see how it varies across different retailer, across different sales method. You can see in the southeast, the method of or the channel of distribution, the least channel of distribution is the outlet 4.3. All right. But if I come to the Midwest, there's an increase in the outlets. So all of this, so there are a lot of ways we can drop, we can ask questions here and then find insights from them. All right. So I'll go over to well, okay, this project. So I'll go back. I'm still not satisfied with this visual. This is too dark compared to this. This light, at least we can even see. But let's focus on something else. So I'm going to go back to my slicer. All right. Go back to my slicer. I want to add visual here. So there are different kinds of. This is a new slicer, and I prefer it because it enables more. It enables more functionalities, right? So I'll right click on it. Oh, I just changed. I was using the line chart before, right? So I just click on anywhere empty, right? So I'll click on it so you can see the slicer here. So the next first thing I want to do is to put in my. I want to order it by. You can see the way I ordered it here, based on preference to year, retailer, region. So I just feel so. This. Let me tell you what informs my. Oh, hold on, please. Let me try and. Can you hear some noise from my background?
Yes, sir.
Hold on, please. All right. Thank you. So, yeah. So this is what informs my decisions, informs my visualizations. All right. In order of things, personally, I think I usually put here first, not all the time, but I feel here should come first, and this is the reason. All right. If we click every sale, everything happens within time. Are we together? Everything happens within time. So it's not written on stone. You could decide to bring this down or take this up, but I just feel if I want to slice through my data, I start on year level. All right, I could now come, okay, in next order, in the order of things hierarchy, the retailer, all right, region could come first, channel, anything, but I'm just showing what works, all right, for me. So I'm going to come over to my yeah, so I'm going to put here on this visual, go to my date column, all right, and I drag in year, put it in the field, so you can see it has created a year for me. So to make it look like this, right, this is what I'm going to do. You can reduce it. So if I try and reduce it just like that card, you see what is happening. So I'm going to come over to format it. This is my shape. I can put it rounded rectangle. You can see. So snipped all of this. So we'll leave it as rectangle. Look at layout. Row is just 2. Let's put spaces between. Okay. Which one is row again and colon? Colon is horizontal, vertical. Okay, row. Okay. Chineye, go ahead, please.
Okay, good evening, sir.
Yes, good evening.
Like what you're trying to do now, can we take the 2021 down, like really be under the 2020?
Okay. Thank you. Right. Yeah, that's what I was even trying to do. All right, yeah. So this is it. I'm making a mistake. Let me check. Also.
So maybe you should put row too.
All right. Okay. So this is it. Yeah, you've seen it now, right? So yeah, these two rows. Rows is vertical, horizontal. While colon is one. Okay, that's why they were together. Thank you. Thank you very much. So you can now fit it in. Yeah, exactly. So we'll look at the call out values. Hey, what am I doing? Okay, the title. Yeah. Yeah. All right. So that will not do try and error again. Let's just copy and paste this thing. This thing takes time. Especially if you're not. What next? Retailer, right? Okay. So we want to put retailer. We come. So we uncheck this. Build our visual. We come and drag retailer field here. You can see we have all our retailers here. Okay, this is still 2 colon and 1 colon and 2 rows. So we'll go to layout and increase the rows. The rows, yes. You can see we have all of them here. I think there are 6. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right, there's 6. Oh, okay. All right, so we'll copy this again. Control C, Control V. What are we putting next? Region. Region. Check this. Go to build visual one. Check this. I'll go to location and put region. Okay, so you see it's now small. It won't contain. Let's format this. That values are too small. Okay, this is better. Let's look at general. Title, give it 11. So this is the effect. Sorry, visuals. How many rows now? I think there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh my goodness. Let's reduce this. Let's even increase this thing safe. All right. I have more space here. We'll format these things. Let's put this. Oh, this says. We'll check this off. What are we putting now? Marketing channel. All right. Okay. Let's make them small so that I can have space. This is too small. All right, better. Uh, call out values. Exactly. This is better. Visuals, come to the layout. Let's increase the rows. I have 3 outlets. Okay. Choose this font size. So you can drag this. So if you see these things are jumping, yeah, I want to create a space. So you can use your arrow down key, left, right, to just bring it down. I think the way I'm moving it, I'm using my keys. This is another way to move your visuals around if your mouse is not helping matters. Okay, it's almost looking like this. Just that, yeah. Okay, let me try and format it more. All right. So you can use your markers to align everything. So feel free to recreate this. Okay, it's looking okay. It's looking good. So, what do we have here again? Let's see if we can make it match. Okay, I think. Oh, let's close this gap a bit. Okay, let's close the gap a bit. You can drag. So you can use our arrow key to move it too. All right. So you can close up this. You can increase the width to match the size. And you can move this inside a bit. You can also use your to move it. I see. So that it doesn't overlap. Right. So we just format this. So this is it's not going to be 100% perfect, but you could take time and replicate it. And so let's do one more thing. This would be my What to do on my title? I want to highlight it just the way I highlighted it here. Highlighted all this blue. So I'm going to my title, and then this background color, change it to light blue. You just click on it, so I keep on changing it, all of them. I like this to change it to, this is it here. I like this one, change it to so. Oh, okay. Come here, do the same thing. Right. So you can see it's coming out. Then for this, you see this. So it's just based on preference too. You could also put this. You could put your picture here or anything. So ahead, we've not even made all of these things bold. So there's a lot you could do to just go around and customize it to whichever way you want it to be. All right. So this is a card. We can come and create effect here. This is how you create your effect. All right. Can make this a bit darker. So it looks almost the same. We can add a darker shade. Let's increase the font size level. All right. So this is it for the visuals. All right. You could go ahead to please try and attempt it. All right, try and attempt it. I try and attempt it, and Deborah, you want to say something?
No, sir.
Okay. All right. Because of time, I'll need to log off now. I need to log off now. So, any question? Any question for the day? Question, clarity. All right. Go ahead.
Yes, I wanted to ask this chart you just dragged, the one with the small circles. What's the name, please?
Small circles. This one or this one?
The one,
This one.
the one below. Yes.
It's called the scatter plot or scatter chart. Look at it here on the visual.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. All right. Chinenye, go ahead.
Okay, I noticed that when you wanted to change the title color, the title background color, you change the background color. How is that a background? I'm actually confused.
The title what? This one, this
Yes, yes, is a
background. That means it's
the background.
it's behind the letters.
Okay.
Behind the letters, that's the background. I put all of these colors.
Okay.
All right. So this is so please go ahead and I want us to commence my SQL. Hopefully, let's say on Sunday, if it's possible. or during the week. All right, so I'll be very fast because of time. Because of time, all right, a lot of things cost this. Of course, access to internet power, supply, and the rest. So that's why we're a bit. So go ahead and replicate this. We'll still refer to this project too. All right. So and this will be a take home assignment also. So the question says, aside creating the interactive dashboard, all right, we've not really answered questions pertaining to the data set anyway, but at least I've just given you an insight into what I can achieve using those case studies. So this is what you would do: create a project, and you will create the drill through page. If you don't know how to create a drill through page, I already did a video on that in the previous classes. It's simple. Just go and watch it again and create the drill through page. All right. So it will be a second page. On when you click on anything here, it should take you to a new page to show. So follow the instructions here, and when we have time, we'll go through it. All right. So that's your assignment. All right. It's simple. So create the drill through page. So you say create a drill through page that allows users to click on any retailer or product in the main dashboard. So if you click on the retailer in the main dashboard, all right, if I click on here, it should take me to show me some things. The question is requesting of us. All right. The detailed sales, this page should include that's the drill through page should include total sales, units sold, operating profits, and the rest. So additional features and enhancements, slicers, and like so it's simple. I've shown us how to do that. So this is a guided project. So I'm just showing you how to go about it to some extent. Then you could take the bold step to complete it or to continue it. All right. So this project should be I want to see it out there. So I think the number of people on the call now, so maybe when they come out. So share your progress out there. All right. Share your progress out there. If we have time, we'll do more. But I want us to really kick off with MySQL, structured query language, how to manage database, create tables, and carry out analysis using SQL. All right. Any other question for the day? Any other concern, clarity? Let me know. I need to go off the call right now. Have we taken our attendance? Somebody's hand is up. Kini, go ahead, please.
No, it's Benedicta. Good evening, sir.
Oh,
Sorry,
Benedicta, good
please.
evening.
I was unable to join yesterday because we did not have light. So please, I want to know the data sets for this. Has it been uploaded?
Yes, on the drive. I would send the questions too. All right.
Okay.
It's on the drive also.
Thank you very much.
Yes, it's on the drive. So go ahead. So this project should work on it. All right, try your hands on it. So this is how you visualize in Power BI. So please, maybe on Sunday I'll relate through admin to you so that we'll know what we're doing. So weekend, if you are a chance to create this project before we commence our next tool. All right, it's simple. You say just in less than how many hours you create it. All right, so go out there and share your progress. Congratulations, this is the 3rd month we are in already. You guys are doing amazingly well. All right, formatics, you can use okay, this is the one I created, Adidas sales dashboard. So you can use mine as a marker for yours. All right, you can also add to it. So make sure you create this project next week. This is Friday, but next week this project will be flying out on your LinkedIn and your Twitter. All right, so I think that's all for today. Is admin on the call? Okay, I don't think she's on the call. All right, so sign your attendance and every other thing. Let me stop sharing my screen.
Thank you very much, sir.
You are welcome. You're welcome.